What is up, guys? We are here again working on the Sonicstang. It's Thursday the next day. Parts have arrived. All right, so before the sun goes down, let's have a look at what we got here. Dash 8, 20 feet of some PTFE hose, Fragola. Then we got 20 feet of dash 10. It'll be dash 8 right off the tank for the feed, but then dash 10 for the distance and 8 around the rails and the return. We have the fuel filter, just the Summit brand. There was an air motive. It said there was 3 left, but it said it wouldn't ship when everything else would, so I had to go with that one instead. This is for the S475. This, you know, flange clamp here goes to the compressor side, and then this adapts to our intercooler piping, the 3-inch stuff. So we can connect it to the turbo. Under there we have Dragon Fire spark plug wires. It's a nice box, and there's wires in there. I mean, they're black, that's cool. They won't stand out, and they say Dragon on them. Other than that, we got a bunch of fittings, like, geez, a bunch of dash 8 90s and hose ends and straights and some dash 10 stuff for that main feed line. This will go right behind the intake. Basically, the dash 10 feed will go into here, and then the 2 dash 8s will go to either fuel rail out of this Y, and this T will go into the regulator in front and connect the 2 fuel rails back together. But I'll go into that more once I lay this out, or maybe just once it's in the car. But yeah, these parts just arrived today. I paid like $100 extra for shipping. Probably didn't need to, but they're here. The long weekend is coming up. It's Thursday right now, like I said, so I might not stay too late tonight and do too much, try to get some sleep, and then hit it really hard this weekend. We're going to the junkyard Saturday morning for parts, doing all kinds of stuff, so lots going on, guys. Here's the last part. As you can see, a Tyrannosaurus Rex blew its load in here, but it seems to have arrived safely without any damage. So I really want to get this thing out and see if it's going to fit in here. The height's going to be tight, like getting it in, but what I want to do is cut out this floor and make a lower subfloor anyway, and it might actually be necessary, so I think I'll check that out first.
I'm trying to get these injectors in this intake, and they're awfully tight. I mean, they're tough getting in the rail to begin with, so you put them in there first, and then the rail should slide in, but it definitely snug.
And then the rail that was in on the other side, I just took off, and the injectors are like this. They don't have those bottom caps. And now, I don't know if I did that just to make them fit with no regard for them being like final installed that way. Maybe it's just easier to fabricate with those instead of having to do that every time. But I'm gonna try search the internet for the instructions for this intake and just double check. But yes, that's...
The boss needs to be at least that deep.
Clayton got this fuel rail in with the injectors. We had to take off those plastic caps in the end to make it fit.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem to want to go down with that. When I put them away.
Yeah, I kind of seem to remember, maybe I read something that you had to take them off.
The cap that goes on the bottom of the injector, which to me,
that's uncapped.
Holds the injector like alignment in the boss hole.
Yeah.
But they would not go down with it on. Mind you, let's try put one back on. But without the O-ring. That'll tell us.
If it's the O-ring or the cap.
See, yeah, it won't go. See how these ones are basically down to the plastic. But with this cap on the Edelbrock intake, that's the problem, is the hole under the O-ring diameter is smaller than this plastic cap.
Yeah,
so
it just won't fit.
You gotta take those caps off, which, other than alignment, I don't think it does anything.
And then we come to another failure of Chinese manufacturing.
I think the O-rings are off.
Yeah? But you got the other ones. Why just the one hole?
Oh yeah, that could be a slight difference.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3 injectors fit. This one, try as we may. Clayton tried a whole bunch. I tried a little bit, and I agree it's also impossible.
These are new O-rings. These are decap injectors that were actually originally in Riley's car, and they were. I got a brand new set. But putting them in this rail, there's like 50 thousandths compression, and they will not go. And they went in the other rail, but they won't go in this rail without tearing the O-ring. So we had 3 used injectors that we used for these 3 injectors with a used O-ring, but we're 1 short, so I'll have to get 1 more for this one.
Plan to make this EFI usable is it has a fuel pickup tube right here. Now let's see if I can light that up, and you can see the tube right there at the bottom, right? So that goes all the way to the bottom. Connects up there. I'm trying to decide if I want to put it in this way, which is okay, and then the air to water tank could be in this area. The battery goes here. Or do I want to put it in like this, which is the way that I had planned on doing it, and kind of why I chose the size that it is. It fills up a better length of the trunk that way. That bar is almost cut for it already. But the whole thing, as you can see here, it hits the trunk, like it won't fit. It has to go down. And I kind of wanted to do that, and it appears that we have to do that. You can see our tin floor here. We have the trans cooler over here, which you can see the bolts in the floor on top. But if I wanted to have it in the center, this would have to get moved over a little bit, which there is room for. Or I could offset it a little bit to that way because it's all open here. But I bought the length that it is specifically because it fits in between there and that other support there and this big cross brace bar for the coilovers. So that should work good. Next step will be just choosing where to cut the hole, cutting the hole, and then I'm thinking some braces, or not braces, but like supports in between the frame rails. But you can see they built the floor kind of high. They could have made it lower. The stock floor is right here, actually. Like that would have been the stock floor. So they moved it up a bit. It can come down at least 4 inches. And this, like the frame rail, because the bumper sticks lower than that even. I mean, the whole key for me would be to not have it visible from the back, right? Still just have the diff showing and not a tank poking through the bottom. So, but there should be a happy compromise. We'll put her down about 5-6 inches.
Yeah,
12 gallons. It's not bad. Stock Mustang tank, 16 gallons. So yeah, it's close. Street car.
almost.
It has a fuel gauge and everything.
All right.
All right.
It's private.
Here's a quick layout of the fuel system and how it's all gonna work. I'll explain here. So the electric fuel pump will be in the tank, which will go to that pickup tube, which goes to a dash 8 fitting on top of the fuel cell. So we got a dash 8 hose end, hose in between here, and then it will go into the fuel filter. Now the fuel filter is dash 10 on either side, but I have this 10 to 8 fitting, and then another dash 890 hose end, which we might switch out. Let's see. And then we have a dash 10, so we'll run the dash 10 PTFE line between here. Another dash 10 to this Y, which goes to dash 8. So there'll be hose in between here and here. These bolt on to the rear of the fuel rails. And then fuel rail in here, imagine. And then this comes off there, 90s. And kind of the idea, as you can see here, is to have this like this, but not, you know, flat ideally. But this gauge gets in the way. I got this 160-degree fitting for the bottom of this too, and thinking, you know, it'd be higher, so it'd need to aim down under the intake, but it's probably gonna be more like that. So the 60 might not work so well, but like I said, you can switch it out with this 90 and just have a 60 going to the fuel filter, because what's it matter? But yes, after that, then it'd be -8 hose from the bottom of the regulator into the final return line fitting into the fuel cell -8. So there's a fuel system. It costs a lot, but you know, they say to get the same brand fittings as the PTFE line that you got, and to get all the same stuff, because there's little differences between manufacturers. So I got all Fragola, and hopefully it works out. That's probably it for tonight. As you can tell, I'm a little tired. I can barely talk, but it's all good. Yeah, I don't know. We just gotta hit it hard tomorrow. Be more of a working video, next video. Until then, we'll keep you updated. See you later, guys.
Fuck. Just keep running. Bullshit. I'm gonna slate this fucker.